Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey everybody.
Everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hope your new year is going well and you don't have as many winter sicknesses going around as this household has had over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
we got
season
here.
So many kids home from college. They brought some lovely UMass Amherst viruses home with them. So we've had a lot of flus in the house.
So I know many people are very enthusiastic about the Hero Dungeons Kickstarter.
Yes.
We are going. I know I posted an update on the date. We went back and forth and we made a decision to delay the date. And Rob will talk more about that when we get to that section.
Just a couple weeks. It'll still be this month.
Yeah, it's very soon. And we also might be showing the Robot Quest Arena production copy.
Yeah, we got a pre-production proof from the factory of Robot Quest Bringer, which we'll be showing a little bit later here.
So let's get into this. And as usual, ask any questions that you have. So for a giveaway, we are giving away the Dragon and Lich boss decks. If you have not played these, they are really fun. And they're one versus many, where if you like to play the bad guy, which I do like to play the bad guy, someone gets to play the bad guy in this one. Unlike in Rune of Thandar. Rune of Thandar, it's like automatically driven if you follow the instructions on how to make the boss take their turn. In this case, you get to make those decisions as the dragon or the lich against a party of adventurers. If you would like to enter to win this, you can please subscribe to the Heroes Dungeons mailing list, which is at heroes.com/dungeons. We'll pick one person from that list to win these decks, and it is a worldwide giveaway. So good luck, everyone, and hope to see you on there. Our next big convention is PAX East, so we wanted to mention that in case anyone's planning or thinking about coming to this. It's March 23rd to the 26th next year. This year, it is 2023. So
yes.
This year, wow, in just a couple of months, it's coming up soon. And we will be there, and we will also be running a couple of Legend series there. So mark your calendars if you haven't already. I think badges went on sale. I'm not sure. I don't follow that side of it, but check it out if you're in this area or want to come to this area for that. I do also want to mention while I'm on this slide that Rob and I plan to be at TotalCon. We were invited to come as special guests there. That is a local show in the Boston area. It's in Marlborough, Mass, in the February timeframe. So if anyone wants to come and hang out, we'll definitely be there. If you have questions, you can send me a message. But they have a lot of events on their schedule. We're not running events there. We're going and hanging out and playing games. If you want to come hang out and play games with us, we'll see you there. And that's really close by to us. I also did want to mention for those interested in Heroes Dungeons that Derek is live streaming Dungeons on Wednesday evenings on our Twitch channel. So you can click over here and subscribe. Derek Funkhauser. If you want to battle with him and you're in the beta, you can battle with him. But yeah, he does that every Wednesday. And then we also have streaming on Saturday with Darwin. So check it out if you haven't yet.
Okay, so
on to Rob.
So we got I got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. Last month we did an update to the Sorcerer and Bringer Kickstarter. Basically, everything's done. We're pushing files to the printer. We've put everything up on Tabletop Simulator. So if you're a Sorcerer and Bringer backer and you feel like trying out the stuff, you're more than welcome to come on there and play. And there's a process with the factory where we submit files to them. They mirror them back. They're called digital proofs. And then we get like physical proofs. And all the way through this process, we can make changes and edits if there's any issues. So if you're playing in the Tabletop Simulator version and you have questions on something's not clear, or you think something's wrong or whatever, please comment on the Kickstarter, and we can. It's not too late for us to address any issues that that backers have. So you guys have a chance to kick the tires one last time while the printer is getting ready to print these. and actual printing will basically commence after we get the physical pre-production proofs, which won't be until after the Chinese New Year. So we're looking at hopefully getting the physical proofs sometime in the February March timeframe, and then pulling the trigger on printing up everything. So in the meantime, feel free to play on Tabletop Simulator if you'd like, and like I said, if you see any issues, just let us know, and we'd love to see what you think of all the awesome Sorcerer stuff. We also have Hero Realms Dungeons coming up. This is one we've been working on for a long time. There are so much fantastic content in Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter. We pushed the bait. We were going to launch today, but we had some more things that we wanted to do. Dot the I's, cross the T's. So we pushed it back a couple weeks. January 24th. This Kickstarter has so much awesomeness. There's the Dungeons box set, which will contain an all-new 80-card market deck. This is just like with the various Star Realm sets. You'll be able to play this market deck on its own, or you'll be able to combine it with any of the other Hero Realms content, including the original market deck. So that on its own would be phenomenally exciting, but there is so much more than that. We've got 6 new character classes. So the original 5 character classes: fighter, cleric, thief, ranger, wizard. A lot of fun to try those different ones, to do in PvP and do adventure with them. But now we've got 6 more coming, 2 of which will come in the Dungeons box set, and the other 4 will be available as packs. So we'll have 2 levels you can back. You can back at the tier where you just get the Dungeons box set and the add-ons, and then there'll be the stretch goals, and then there'll be a level where you can back and get all the new packs as well. They will have an adventure tier with all the packs plus the box set. So the box set will contain these 2 new character classes. And then additionally, the box set will contain what we call adventure decks for these new character classes. So now that we're coming out with more character classes, obviously for the original classes, we had the character packs, and then we had stuff that you would get with it while you were adventuring. We had in the Ruin of Thandar series. So treasures were in there, and also all the skill and ability cards were in that first Ruin of Thandar set. Obviously, as we add more characters, that model doesn't work. So what we've done is we've made something called the adventure deck for each character class. And the adventure deck contains everything you need to level that character all the way from level 1 to 24. So this will contain their entire skill tree, their entire ability tree, and 20 different treasures. And each treasure will be labeled as to at what level is this going to be, and your choice of treasures that come up. So you'll be able to play the physical game exactly like you play in the app, where you can level up your character to whatever level you want, making those skill and ability choices along the way, and making those treasure choices. So phenomenal amount of content there. And then the box set will also contain a 12 encounter dungeon campaign. So this campaign will take a character all the way from level 1 to level 12, have an encounter. After the encounter, you'll level up, and you keep playing through. So this is a separate campaign to the Ruin of Thandar, so you can play characters to this, you can play characters to the Ruin of Thandar, either way. And of course, you'll be able to take your character, additional characters, and add them to this. You can play up to 5 players through the campaign. So you got all that content there. Plus, we're going to have so we'll have the Alchemist and the Barbarian in the box set, and then we've got a Druid, gorgeous artwork, a monk, and a bard, and then we have a Kickstarter exclusive necromancer. And for each of those, we also have the adventure deck with all their treasures, all their skill and ability tree stuff, and of course, we've pre-designed a ton of stretch goal cards for people to unlock as we make our way through the Kickstarter. So phenomenal amount of really exciting content, and all that's going to be coming in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today on Kickstarter. And you see, we had someone asking if we any chance we can get a peek at new classes. I'm actually going to be showing some of the stuff from the Alchemist in just a minute. But first, I want to talk about the Hero Realms Digital. So one of the challenges with Hero Realms and the character classes and the way we design them to level up, there are literally thousands of ways you could design a character. Every time you level up, you get a choice. So if you've played in the app, you'll be familiar with this. You level up and it's like, oh, I've got the ability to improve a skill, an ability, or increase my health. And when you advance a skill, you have a choice of, do I want to advance it this way or that way? There's like a tree that has like, a 3-level tree. So you start with 1 and then you have two to choose from. And then each of those 2 has 2 to choose from there, with the center ones combining. So you end up with a bunch of different choices to make there. And also, every time you find treasure, you find 2 and you select one that you want. And you find treasures multiple times through. So just choice after choice after choice. And you can play any matchup you want. You can play any class matchup. You can and you can play characters of different levels versus each other. So the number of potential permutations is absurdly high. So it's a big challenge for us on the playtesting and development side, because the number of, just to play every single one of these possibilities once would take an impossibly long amount of time. But something we found with Hero Realms Digital is we get a ton of feedback, a ton of data. We can look at how each class does, what's the win percentage for each class, what's the win percentage versus different matchups, what number of people are choosing item A versus item B, what's the win percentages on those items. Any piece of data we want to parse, we can look at, and it really does a phenomenal job of helping us balance stuff, further fine-tune that balancing. So what we've decided to do with Dungeons is we're going to be doing a playtest period in digital on a special server that legend backers of Hero Realms Digital have access to. That's already going on. So basically, if you're a Legends backer, if you have access to this, you can play with the dungeon set on this special server. Now, of course, this server is only populated by Legends backers. So best way to get a match is to contact a friend and say, hey, let's do a game, issue a challenge, etc. Because the player pool is limited to just those legend backers. And one of the great things about that is obviously the people who are most into Hero Realms, are Legends backers on the digital Kickstarter. So we get a nice controlled group of playtesters who are, big fans of the property, who are going to be in there playing and giving us feedback. And we're going to be doing that to balance all the dungeon stuff. We the Legends account gives you a whole bunch of privileges. The biggest one is you get free everything in the app for life. So unlimited free gems. So when we start doing tournaments and other things that cost gems, the cosmetics that cost gems, you just be able to get anything you want, enter any tournament you want, etc. And then you'll also be getting every single set when it comes out. So basically everything in the app that is single player accessible, you'll be able to get for life with a Legends account. It's basically it was $99 on the Kickstarter. It's a Kickstarter exclusive thing. And our Kickstarter exclusives are available during Kickstarters, and also sometimes special events, we'll open them up. So we're doing just that. We're opening up the Legends tier, Hero Realms Digital. So we're going to be doing that, I believe you said next week, Deb?
I think we'll be able to sort it out this week. We're trying to look at a way to make it a bit more automated for the digital team, so that we're not having to manually say. I know I saw a message here of someone who was asking, hey, I got my Legend backer rewards, but you already put people into the dungeon. So right now we have sort of a multi-step process. So this week, we certainly, if you now have your Legend account and you're not in there yet, we'll look at getting more people in this week. But We also want to look at if we make this available and add more people in, that we have a more automated way to get you in as well.
So if you and there's also cool cosmetics like alternate art gold and other benefits to being a Legend backer. So if you wanted to be a Legend backer and you missed out during the Hero Realms digital Kickstarter, this is a great opportunity for you to jump on to the Legends level. And if you are a Legends level backer and you feel like seeing the new content. Now, again, we're going to be pushing this stuff to the app years, months or years ahead of when it's going to be normally hitting the app. And it's not going to have the level of refinement as far as like, some things may break digitally. They won't have as nice, smooth the user interface. Graphics that will be there in the final version won't be there, but the play content will be there. You'll be able to get to try them out and kick the tires on both the new market deck and we're going to be adding these new characters. I know the team is currently working on getting the Barbarian and the Alchemist in there. So we're going to be releasing those new characters in the beta as well. So if you want to be part of that process and you're a Legends backer, awesome. You can go onto the Discord channel and ask Joel, hey, how do I get onto this beta server? I want to try it out. And again, if you're on there, the best way to do it is to arrange times with your friends to play or to get on the Discord and say, hey, I'm looking for a game, because it's a limited pool of players. It's only you guys. Yeah, I cannot wait to see the new classes in the app. And
Me
of course,
too.
the balance on them is going to be off. They might be too weak. They might be too strong initially. And the point of this testing is we're gonna refine them. So before they go to print, we're going to be able to make these tweaks and changes and get the characters to the level that they to a great level that we want them to be at. So the more people who are in, the more Legend backers who participate, the better. It gives us more feedback. But of course, you totally don't have to. You can you can just become a Legends backer, and then just play the regular app with your cool alt art stuff, and knowing that as we release new content, you're just going to get everything for free for forever in the app. But if you do want to help us play test, that would be awesome, and we'd love to see you in there. And you'll get very early looks at new content. The only thing that that makes me sad about this is we'll be showing stuff to you guys which won't be in the app for a very long time, because we have, right now we're working in the app on an update that'll bring players up to level 4, increase level cap to 14, and add the promo cards from Kickstarter 1. And then after that, a few months after that, we'll be doing an update where we're adding like the Ancestry packs. And a few months after that, we'll be doing an update where we're adding some Journeys packs and bring the level cap up to 16, etc. So this new Dungeons content, as far as releasing the regular app, it's going to be a while. So it's going to be a very early look for you guys who want to join.
Little feedback for the digital team. Interest in re-rolling characters just to be able to get up to higher levels faster.
Yeah. So this is something that we're looking at for the actual app itself. The primary release, probably a retraining would be something that you would pay some number of gems to do, and basically go to a training camp and rework your skills, and so basically re-roll your character will probably be a small cost pay option. Of course, if you're a Legends backer, everything's free, and of course, you can also get to max level and then get that prestige point and work up through again. But sometimes you want to try different stuff out on a quicker basis. So probably that's the way we're going to do it long term, but not decided yet.
And then feedback on character slots. Like, it would be great if someone suggested even Legend backers getting an increase on the cap of 10.
So basically, again, with the character slots, one of the things we're going to be that will again be something where players will be able to pay a small amount of gems to add character slots over time. And of course, if you're a Legends backer, you'll just be able to spam that as much as you want. Obviously, there'll be there'll be some cap on the number of characters because there is actual real world data storage involved, but it can probably be a pretty high number that I imagine you won't reach if you're a Legend Packer.
I'm gonna get in on this tavern brawl. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So as always, our community has come up with awesome ways to play. We try and support that through Star Realms and Hero Realms by adding features to challenges specifically so you guys can mess around and do stuff and let each other know, hey, what format is this, etc. And that's the kind of thing we're always happy to support as we go. So we love seeing things like like the dodgeball in Star Realms and the tavern brawl in Hero Realms and such. Like there's a lot of great community stuff. If you're involved in any of those, you can just go ahead and throw links in the chat so people can find the awesomeness.
Yeah, there was a question about will there be a discount on legend level backing for those who backed the beta Kickstarter?
So no, we're keeping it simple for our team, and it's just if you want this, it's it's $99, whether you have a regular account or don't have an account or you backed the Kickstarter previously. So yeah, sorry, it's just our team is doing a lot, and we try and keep the logistics as light as possible with these things. So
yeah, so there was a team draft for Tavern Brawl. If you want to check that out, you can look at, I don't know how to pronounce it, Double Dub's Twitch stream here. And also if you want to join the Discord for Tavern Brawl to learn more about it, Realms Rising, and just Realms Rising has all kinds of resources. So if you haven't checked out realmsrising.com, definitely check it out and see all the different things that are available on that site for Hero Realms players.
Yeah, tons and tons
awesome
of
strategy articles, podcasts. Check it out. This person said, no, I should have backed it. Yeah. Someone asked back here, why does my hair look pink? Michael, we're wizards and we're magical. So this is like one expression of magical powers. I have many others, but that is why my hair looks pink. And I wanted to answer one question. Game Freak earlier asked, he said that they got their Kapow add-ons and they haven't yet got their Kapow. So Kapow is actively shipping in the United States and likely to Canada. I'm not sure personally of the Canadian situation right now, but we are shipping add-ons separately from your rewards. So if you get your most people have gotten Kapow before their add-ons, but if you've received add-ons and you haven't yet received your Kapow, don't worry, they are shipping separately. But if you don't get it, in the next probably couple of weeks, yeah, you should email our support team because, it should be in the queue if it hasn't shipped out yet, if you're in the United States. And I know in the EU, we're still working through some stuff.
Yeah. So basically for the US, obviously, Deluxe Nova shipped a while ago to everybody. And Kapow is shipping now. A whole bunch of backers already have it in hand. I know things have been delayed in the EU. We apologize for it. We've had a terrible time with EU customs recently. Our containers keep getting pulled. Insane customs fees are getting thrown on our stuff. It's a whole mess, but we're in the process of working through it. Working with various entities in the EU to get our stuff out of customs jail and into your hands. So yeah, we're working through it. We apologize, but unfortunately, they're on like our future stuff. It's possible these similar delays will happen where the US gets it first because it seems like the customs difficulty has been ratcheted up. I'm not sure why, but
I mean, I'm a little bit more involved in the details, and basically we'll be changing some of the paperwork that ships with our stuff that's coming from China into the EU. And we were the first of, other publishers to get hit with this. So now, we're going to try that and hopefully that will fix things. But there's some additional paperwork that was not required in the past that we'll be providing in the future, and that our fulfillment partner will be recommending to other publishers to include as well. So fingers crossed, it's going to get easier. But we do anticipate we'll still have slowdowns and things like that, but we're doing the best that we can. Thanks for mentioning us Canadians. Even though I'm like, I don't know what's, I mean, generally we do ship from Canada from the US fulfillment center. So, you know, that's why I said they're probably on the way. When you are in Canada, yes, that may make sense why you might have gotten your add-ons before Kapow.
Yeah, there's two separate fulfillment centers. So that's probably the issue, but we'll keep an eye on it. And obviously if that doesn't, the game doesn't get to you, hit us up and we'll get
beautiful.
it fixed. Yes, yeah.
And
that thing you don't have looks amazing. It's really cool. So we'll be getting it to you soon. Hopefully,
yeah, you'll get it soon. And let's see. Kapow, tons of fun. Cool. All right. Well, let's go on to our next topic. I think. Where were we, Rob? Oh,
so I was just gonna show. I was gonna talk about. We have some slides here. You can go ahead and bring it up. This is just showing tweaks that we've made to the existing characters in the app to sort of show the kind of things that we're going to be doing with dungeons. So, for example, this we were finding that low-level wizards were having unacceptably low win rates. We've changed abilities like, for example, deal 2 damage to target to opponent or to target champion, and upgrading that to dealing 3 damage to 2 targets. So basically, you can keep going through. So you can see here the Pathfinder's Compass getting a major being able to dig much deeper. In some cases, things were could be too powerful or have too high a win rate. Like in the case of the Quiver, where we have a nerfing that happens. So we'll be weakening cards, increasing the power of cards, or changing what cards do based on your play experience. Next I want to talk a little bit about the Alchemist. So the Alchemist is one of the 2 characters that will be coming in the Dungeons box set itself. One of the 6 new characters in this campaign. One of the Alchemist is all about potions and manipulating light and transforming things. So plays a lot with card factions and switching things around. So here you can see the level 2. So this is the level below a standard starting character deck. So it's the second level ability. Sorry. Where basically this allows you to this ability allows you to sacrifice a card from your hand to acquire a card that costs up to 2 more. So for example, you could sacrifice a gold out of your hand and grab a fire gem and throw it into your discard pile. So transmute the ability tree for the Alchemist has this transmutation mechanic where you're getting rid of something and getting something more powerful. And this is a low level example of that. And this will be a card that'll be in that Alchemist adventure deck we talked about. Next, I'll show you one of the Alchemist treasure cards here. So we've got the Vial of Acid, just a card draw effect. So obviously useful in combination with any deck manipulating stuff like putting cards on top of the deck, etc. I'll let you draw a card, but you can basically break your Vial of Acid to stun all opposing guards. Just take them all out, or stun target non-guards. So you can, if there's a bunch of guys in your face, you can throw it down and get them all, or you can throw it at a single target. Just fun mechanics like that.
I love this one.
The Rainbow Potion. So basically there is a starting deck card we showed on a previous stream where the Alchemist has Frothing Potions, which when you play them, you get to choose a faction and the card is that faction's color that turn. So it gives the Alchemist a really good ability to be able to trigger ally abilities on cards that didn't play. This Rainbow Potion upgrade will take out a frothing potion and add this, which isn't as good for matching colors on the table, but if you already have color matches going, this card is obviously very powerful. So basically, if this one wants you to have multiple factions in play, so if you have 2 factions in play, you get to draw a card. If you have 3, you get to draw 3, we get to draw another. So, and the Alchemist, of course, has many abilities that makes him good at getting multiple factions out. So this could be a powerful card draw effect as well. All right, the Bottled Tempest. This is a treasure, gives a combat, draws a card. So a lot like the Thief's Blackjack in that it's okay. We're getting getting a little free damage in, and then it has a sacrifice ability to damage all opposing champions. So if your opponent has a swarm of cheap guys out, could give you some significant damage.
There was a question, I think, on the rainbow one. If you draw a 3rd fraction after the first draw, you get another draw.
So yes. So basically, the rainbow potion will give you a double draw basically if you have 3 factions or more out.
Thanks.
And okay, this is I believe this card actually, I think we have some missing text on here. I think this one replaces a gold, but at any rate, it has a sacrifice ability on the card itself, and you can give a card you already have in play all factions for the turn. So a way to help out your factions, which will interact with many of the other Alchemist abilities.
The art is beautiful.
Yeah, a ton of just really gorgeous art in this set. Crucible, this is a fun one. You can reveal the top card of your deck, and you get to choose: do I want to sacrifice it? Do I want to draw it? So that's a fun and powerful treasure. And here is level 2 version. So this is the upgraded version of the Alchemist skill. And with this, you choose 2 factions, and you get combat equal to the number of first you have, and gain health equal to the number of the second. And of course, the trees go in different directions depending on what you want to do with your Alchemist. But so yeah, the Alchemist is all about this manipulating the factions. And manipulating and transmutation of one thing to another. So a lot of really fun abilities with that, and so that's a peek into the content that will be there for the Alchemist. Of course, there's a lot more skills, a lot more abilities, a lot more treasures, and again, we're going to be putting this stuff in the app, and we're going to be testing it out. And some of it's going to be too weak, some of it's going to be too strong, but you guys will get to play with it, and we'll see. You can give us direct feedback of, hey, I don't like this one, it's not good enough, or or it's too strong. My opponent played it, it was no fun. So you can let us know directly on the Discord channel, but also behind the curtain, we're going to be able to see all those game stats, and we'll know, okay, this one's got a 70% win percentage. That's way too high. We need to nerf this card, or this card's never getting chosen. We need to make it more exciting. Those sorts of things. I'm really excited about the fact that we're going to be able to work with the community to make the game to bring that game to that next level before the going to print. So like with the original characters, we did a lot of testing as much as we could, but as I said, so many different possible matchups and such, you can't test everything. You can't get statistically significant sample size with an internal test group. So this app play is going to be a really phenomenal tool. So one, really fun. You get to play with the stuff early, and it's kind of fun to discover what's broken. As you're going through, like you get to win a bunch of games with, because you figured out the really powerful thing. And then of course we go back and say, okay, this particular thing needs tweaking, so we're super excited about that process. don't know if we have any questions on the hero stuff before we jump into the.
There was a
robot
question. So on the original character packs, we're making some changes. Is there any way to get the updated physical cards for the original characters? If you
couple things. One, we're gonna be making an errata page where as stuff in the app stabilizes, like, okay, we've made this tweak and we like it, you know, and it's working well. We will put that errata up on the Kickstarter page. So if you have the old version, you can look on the errata, much like you would with like a trading card game like Magic. Like, okay, you know, has this card been changed? If I play it in a tournament, what's it actually going to do? So you'll be able to check the errata. Secondly, we are going to be making adventure decks for the original character classes. So basically, to move to this model where every single character has a character pack and an adventure deck. And so if you want to if you're a new player and you're coming in you buy the dungeon set, you like it and it's fun, and you're like, oh, we have a third player we want to bring through the dungeon campaign with us, and they want to play, say, a wizard, that player can go buy the wizard pack and then the wizard adventure deck, and then they have everything they need to play the wizard through any campaign, whether it's the Ruin of Thandar or the dungeon campaign or some campaign adventure we make in the future. So we'll be making those, and those will, of course, have our updated versions of the cards in them. Now, many people will choose not to buy those add-ons of the adventure decks for the original characters, because if you own the original character and you own the Ruin of Thandar series, this is going to be primarily reprints of stuff you've already got. So not everybody needs it, and if you don't want to get it, no problem. You know, go to the errata page and you can just, you know, make a note of what your cards do currently if you want to play the updated version. But we will have those adventure decks. But of course, things may change in the future, and even those updated ones, you know, we may make further changes down the road as more and more content gets added to the app. Kind of creates a living game situation where, as new content comes in, something that was okay before may suddenly become broken. So we may need to, tweak stuff that has been stable for a while. So that's something we'll be doing in the app. And of course, we'll be putting that errata up on our Kickstarter page for when people want to get the latest versions in paper.
So I think we've answered all the questions.
So I have some new toys to show then. Robot Quest Arena, phenomenally fun deck builder. If you've never heard of it, check out the Kickstarter page on it. Watch the video, super fun. But we got pre-production proof, so let me grab those.
The video is amazing. Ori Kagan, who is a member of our player community, does awesome videos.
So this is the pre-production proof of Robot Quest Arena. So I'll just show you the sides of the box here. And here's the front cover. And
by the way, I just did shoot a video of Rob unboxing this, so we will post that on an update to the Kickstarter today as well.
When you open up the box, you can see nicely tucked in the top is the rule book, and you guys have been able to see this rule book in Kickstarter updates. But nice, big, beautiful, pretty rule book, lots of art, easy to read. So we got that, and then nestled in next is the game board, which is as you can see, it's thick and it's a multi-fold board, so the board folds out. I'm not going to open up the whole thing here because it'd be bigger than the screen, but you know, big game board to play on there. And then inside the box, so this one's missing. The one thing that the factory forgot to put in this one is our foam blocks. So we're going to have a foam block in here in the card section to you'd be familiar with those if you've got like the Deluxe Nova collection or whatever, like a foam block to hold things in place. And we also will have a foam block here to hold the dials in place. But as you can see, there's inside this factory, there's spaces for everything. There's spaces for your tiles with lots of room for extra tiles as you go. And of course, we'll have a foam block in there to keep it steady. space for your cards, big enough that you could put sleeved cards in here, and of course, lots of space to add extra cards. And then we've got the robot minis. So the robot minis, we have a separate internal plastic tray to keep these guys nice and steady during shipping and stuff. And of course, you can keep using it if you choose. And these minis are awesome. So there is Petri and Crate looking awesome. And we
haven't had a chance to play with this yet.
Pug. So cute.
My favorite.
And we've got Strider. So these are all beautiful pre-painted minis and nice big size. And you can see that this the well for the minis is quite large. So basically they fit in, you can fit them in without the case if you want, and there's room for a bunch. So basically, if you get the extra minis and you get more minis in the future, you can hold quite a few in here if you choose not to use the storage tray. Then over here we've got the robot cards for each robot, and these are nice thick board stock. And they're, if you want to randomize which bot you get, you can shuffle them up and deal them out that way. And then there's a nice spot underneath for the cubes, so you can store all the various cubes and gems that come with the game. You can store in these little sections here. So we've got spots to keep everything organized within the box, and you can see the various tiles. There's the trash compactor, or the smoke, all the different tiles that come in, and of course these are nice thick game tiles. So that is the box set, and then we also have samples for the robot pack. So these are really cool. So these packs were designed so that a retail store can hang them on a peg, or they can set them on a shelf because they have a flat bottom. And you can see so this one is obviously Kettle, and you can see you got the bot inside, and then the gems. These will actually be red in the final version, but we got the larger gems and the cubes. And then on the back, you can see comes with 4 additional tiles, including a new spawn point tile. You've got the deck of cards and the robot card, and this pops open right here, and you can get to all those goodies. So we've got Kettle, we've got Jaws here with his fun stuff on the back, and then of course we've got Dozer. And your Kickstarter exclusives. So you got a nice big fat stack of cards and new tiles for the Kickstarter exclusives for the Kickstarter backers. So we got all this stuff we got yesterday. We've been taking some pictures and stuff of it, and then we're going to be breaking it all open, checking all the cards, all the make sure everything is just right. So we checked this out. There's some minor feedback, like, hey, these gems are supposed to be red. Some little details we'll give back to the printer. Get those foam blocks inserted. Get the colors. Get some colors corrected, etc. And then the factory will show us those updated things. So, for example, send us the foam blocks. We'll put them in this box. Make sure, yep, those are the right size, or nope, that's too small. Got to tweak it. So we'll go back and forth making those little tweaks. As soon as we get to the point where we're happy with everything, we say, okay, go, and then they start printing the mass production copies. Our hope is that will be shortly after the Chinese New Year, which is, I believe, late January, and later this month, and then they basically have a month off. So hopefully by the time the factories, people are back at the factory ready to work. We'll be ready to go on the printing. So, but of course, quality is the #1 item. And and these guys are they're just so awesome. So yeah, that's the Robot Quest Arena stuff. We're super excited about it. And like I said, it's just come in. I'm going to be working on an update for the Kickstarter page to let everybody know, hey, we got the pre-production proofs in, a couple minor issues, but generally speaking, stuff is looking great. We're getting very close.
Yeah, someone said Dan said he appreciates the thick tiles and thick legs on the minis because his 4-year-old loves playing.
So this
kids
guy
are really drawn to these.
Strider has gone through many iterations. So basically, you can see here there's this red line up in the back of his leg, and you can see it also goes there. So the original build of Strider had thinner legs and no support beam going up, and now the 3D printed versions are not nearly as stable as this plastic. This plastic is much stronger and it's not brittle. So basically, if it gets a little bend, then it actually bends and comes back into position. But the 3D printed ones were great because they showed us where weak points were. So Strider frequently broke on those angular legs, so we made them thicker. We added the central support going through, and like when I got the factory version of the first first version of the minis, so these are mass production minis, but the first version of the minis that we got, like for example, Pug's legs were a little thinner. They were about half the thickness, and when I took them and I like smashed them on the table a bunch of times, his legs broke in those spots. Again, more brittle plastic than the final version, but still shows us, hey, let's thicken up these legs and just make sure that these hold up better. Obviously, they're little plastic toys, so if you really wanted to break them, I'm sure you can. But we did a lot to make them stronger, to hold up to sort of standard, around the table play.
And we did see that people were pretty enthusiastic when they were battling their robots.
Oh yeah, so
when Rob also.
When people were, very frequently like, when people move and they're really excited about where they're going, they'll put the mini down on the table with some force, and that was one of the causes of breaks on the Strider. This version obviously way stronger. But yeah, it's a beautiful game. The MSRP ended up being significantly higher than the Kickstarter price. We were hoping for a lower MSRP, but the quality was really important to us, and the visuals on this game. So great news for Kickstarter backers. It's the game's still you got an extra deal, which is awesome, and we appreciate you guys backing early. That's fantastic. I think when people see the game out on the table, I think they'll be totally happy paying. I believe it's going to be a $79.99 game, but phenomenal gameplay and quality. So I think people will be quite happy with it.
Yeah, so I think that was everything we had. There was a question which I answered in the comments, which was with the Heroes Dungeons Kickstarter, will you be able to get past Kickstarter exclusive promo cards or past promo cards? And I wrote back that yes. Basically, when we do our Kickstarters, we do have the ability to add on Kickstarter exclusive, not just from the Heroes product line,
Kickstarter exclusives from Robot Quest Arena,
also from other Kickstarters as well. So we don't have every single product in our catalog when we do the Pledge Manager, but we definitely include the Kickstarter exclusive products that people have another chance to get those, and they don't have to, pay really crazy amounts in the secondary market to get those. I know not everyone can wait, but
yeah.
So those will be available. So yeah, we don't have. Oh, actually, there's a couple comments. Oh yeah, third part of yes. You did mention Watery Graves.
So there'll be a bunch of cool add-ons in the Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter. Those will include things like score dials for all the different character classes. So you want a ranger score dial or a thief score dial, etc. But we'll also have as an add-on the part 3 of the Ruin of Thandar series, Watery Graves. This is not a Kickstarter exclusive, so you could also, get it in your store when it comes there. But yes, Watery Graves, it is in the final stages, and so it is. It will be available in this Kickstarter as an add-on. So if you want Watery Graves, you'll be able to, on the Kickstarter, when you back, it'll bring up, hey, do you want add-ons? It'll list a bunch of add-ons. Watery Graves will be among the add-ons that you can get. So yes, part 3 of the Ruin of Thandar will also be in this Dungeons Kickstarter, which is just so jam-packed with Hero Realms content. It is crazy. So yes, be awesome.
Gonna be awesome. So I think we've answered all the questions. We had someone join who wanted an update on Sorcerer and Bringer.
So so from earlier in the stream, basically there's a update on the Kickstarter from last month. Basically everything's going, all the files are being sent into the printer. Everything is up on Tabletop Simulator now, so you can try it out there. If you do find anything where you're confused or you have any feedback on anything, there are a couple stages in the printer process where we can make corrections, digital proofs, physical proofing, etc. So feel free to comment on the Kickstarter page if you notice anything while playing the Tabletop Simulator build.
Yeah, and then I have a question from Dan again. Any tips for speeding up cleanup between games with Kapow? My family loves the game, but removing the tiles tends to really slow things down. So he's talking about the sides of the dice.
Yeah, so I assume you're using the little black arrows that come in there's these little arrow wedges things that you can put into the side of the die and pop out the sides. Those for a lot of people, those speed up taking out the faces quite a bit. Some people can just grab those faces with their fingernails and pop them out. Others can't. But those little plastic arrows, just you practice with them a couple times and you'll get very fast at popping out the sides. I can pop the sides off a die in 2 seconds to empty a 6-sided die.
You need a competition who can do it fast. Get those off.
TikTok challenge.
But yeah, hopefully people know to use the little black arrow because that does help, and there's probably other household tools you could use as well. So hopefully that helps, Dan.
Someone was asking, well, I missed it, but was Kickstarter pushed? Yeah, Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today. So we pushed it back a couple weeks as we're finalizing a few things on the page.
Yeah, and we did share some stuff, so you can watch the replay of this if you want to see some of the spoiler cards.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
nice
everybody.
To see you. Bye.